Throughout the BlueLock story, Anri Teirei is known for being the heroine of the BlueLock story, for being the one to find Jinpachi Ego, and together they have made BlueLock successful on the world stage. However, I feel like there is more to her character to take appreciation into and concern, because I feel she still has a massive background role to play in the story. However, before we get into this video, make sure to like, subscribe, comment your thoughts and opinions, and join my Discord community to drop video suggestions and vibe with us BlueLock nerds. Now back to the video. Appearing in 21 of the 38 episodes of the BlueLock anime, and 46 chapters in the manga, 47 if you include her voice in chapter 306, Anri Teirei has had some moments to shine for a character that is very good. Backstory. Born on August 17, 1996 in Akita, a little miracle was born. While we don't know Anri's full backstory thanks to her egoist Bible and my collab with Akira a few months ago, I think I can build together a little preview of it. She is in a family of 5 with her parents, older sister and younger brother. We know that one of her hobbies is cheering, so maybe she was a cheerleader when she was younger. However, we get into the fact that she got into football at age 10 thanks to Nadeshiko Japan, which means the Women's Japan team. However, this isn't the year where Japan won the Women's World Cup, which was 2011. This is 2006, when Japan got 4th place in the Women's AFC Cup, with Yuki Nagasato being tied for the highest goal scorer, being 7 goals. It would be really cool if that was her older sister and she was supporting her match.
Why was he not known by most of the internet, and why was Anri the one to find him? Considering the fact that her favorite player is Teirei Anri, it wouldn't be unexpected she watched his national France games and saw him play with Noel. The fact that she is consistently updating player data in BlueLock would show how proficient she is with soccer research, especially since she scouted around 300 players too. So if she did enough research about Noah in club football, and she would find out about Ego, considering munchen had an Asian legend in Park Ji-sung, it wouldn't be surprising if she found out about him through munchen. Alternatively, it doesn't take much research for her to find him, as even if she was an Arsenal fan like Raito, she could have just watched Ego play for munchen and dominate Arsenal 8-2 if she continued following the Premier League. Like, there's a good chance she witnessed Ego's rise as a top player in Dortmund, or she could have seen him before he started to regress and fade from the role.
Now this begs a new question. How did these two meet? Well, obviously it was in Japan, but how? We know from what I said that Anri is an internet geek, but another thing they got in common is spice. And what I mean is, in Anri's Ego Bible, that term comes up quite a bit. She has this as her preferred rice companion. Her second best hobby is literally searching for spicy food, and one of the things that make her happy is being introduced to spicy food. And knowing that Ego is also into cup noodles, preferably spicy, that little boy, it would be even easier for them to come in contact due to both of them sharing interest in spicy noodles. They probably would have met in Hokkaido, Japan, where Uma noodle curry was originated. And since Anri likes discovering spices, where better to try it than its origin roots. Another thing to note is that Anri washes her neck first, and with Haikyuu and BlueLock sharing a lot of similarities, it would be cool if, just like Kyoko, Anri had an injury that stopped her from being able to cheer. This could all be wrong, but this is just me speculating and throwing things out the window randomly, because I can. Also, considering she seems consistent with her yoga regimen, I thought she was flexible and has a jersey from high school, though it's not specified what sport. This really could have been cool for her. Now, when she turned 15, she would have seen the Nadeshiko Japan win the FIFA's Women's World Cup. Now, we also know she is very good with analyzing soccer due to watching a lot of Premier League matches, which, like Raito, was probably an Arsenal fan due to her favorite legend being Arsene Wenger, the best manager for Arsenal. Don't any of y'all say Arteta in the comment section. That man is the living embodiment of Hugo IRL, bro. Always finishing second. Her favorite player is Teirei Anri, a French soccer player. Now, with that set in stone, we can time jump. Due to one of the things making her happy being encouragement, I'm gonna take a guess that one of her family members or friends encouraged her to take her love for soccer into her career. And I believe she could have focused her time in high school and college trying to figure out what sort of career she could have with that. Now, in order to get into the JFU, you need to have a lot of experience in soccer management and good networking with the local community, which is what I'm assuming Anri did to get in. Now, this begs a question. How the heck did Ego and Anri have enough money to afford BlueLock? Because Barou and his boys didn't know about it in 2018, and there is no way they would have built it from scratch without Anri having to submit to a very dangerous devil's card that Nagi is doing right now. I do not really wish to talk about that though. Or Ego could have just had some remaining bread from his football days. It makes sense as he was giving everything he could to destroy Noel. Now, looking at the structure of BlueLock's facility, I'm gonna estimate it took about 1 to 3 years for this project to be built. So maybe from this time period of 2015 to 2018. But if it was because of the JFU, then it's like 2 to 5 months ago, who knows. Now we can get into the main story of BlueLock. The last time she cried was when Belgium eliminated Japan in the knockout stages of the 2018 FIFA World Cup. This must have been another big motivation for Anri to become a new hire, as she would have wanted to change Japan being stopped by big walls. She wants the whole union to take this so they can really devise a plan to come back even stronger for the 2022 FIFA World Cup. However, she isn't being taken seriously because she is a woman and because she is a new hire. But she still stands her ground, stating that winning the World Cup is her dream. She's already seen it done with the Nadeshiko Japan, so now she wants to see it with the men's Japan team as well. Japan made progress to even become the regulars in the FIFA World Cup within the past 25 years. But if they don't do anything now while they are knockout stage regulars, that's all they will ever be. A top 16 team that will never be able to break into the wall of the best 8, thus never reaching the top of soccer. And her plan to change Japanese football is the spicy noodles lover she met randomly, Jinpachi Ego, as he will destroy and remake Japanese football. After Ego's speech, all 300 strikers agreed to participate in BlueLock. Anri basically just says she is giving Ego the keys to these kids' lives, and it had to be teenagers, as to rebuild Japanese soccer from the ground up. You need people with not fully developed cognitive mindsets but close enough of age to be able to participate in the next World Cup, which is why the U20 strikers were perfect for brainwashing. During a press conference where Barou is getting cooked, Anri logs in and says, "You're damn right, the kids' futures will be wasted, as they were a necessary sacrifice for the future of Japanese soccer," on some Eren Yeager type of vibes, bro. However, everyone sees her as a ludicrous dreamer except for my girl, Itoshi. That's right, if Anri didn't lock in then and there, Itoshi's side would have never cared for BlueLock, as that is the craziness he has been looking for. Which means if he didn't play, BlueLock would have been cancelled by Barou due to not selling enough tickets. So thank you, Anri, you truly are the heroine. But we ain't done yet. Now, before we get into the BlueLock events inside the facility, she did do a lot before it happened, as she scouted like all the 300 strikers. Even though she didn't pick some of them like Isagi, she still scouted him, you know. Like the Aomori Dada game, Kira versus Isagi's game, and we know she saw Chigri but didn't pick him also because of the injury, but Ego took a chance on him as well. This goes to show how she is a terrific scout, who can take a chance on people she didn't even hear about like Nagi Rail. Anri's bank account must have been drained using all that gas though. Now, while the BlueLockers were giving their all for their dream to represent the U20 Japan team, let's check on what Anri was doing in the background. She wakes up at 5:30 in the morning to check emails and do her morning yoga. At 6:30, she wakes up Ego and cleans up his room. Lord have mercy. At 7:30, she has her breakfast and just boils water since Ego's gonna have noodles. At 9 a.m., she has her meeting with Ego, which is just her getting criticized. But if she says anything remotely smart, he finna lash out like a chihuahua, so she just keeps silent. And the worst part is she is doing this right after checking up on 275 players' conditions, which means she must already be stressed coming into that meeting. After the hour-long meeting, she does a personal check on how the selection is doing. Then 30 minutes later, she has to update player personal data, and she does this by processing the statistics from the bodysuits they wear. Now 2 hours later, she has a mental break by having her lunch. And I can tell she is tired as hell, as she has to scream at herself to not forget to boil the water for Ego's 10th noodle cup of the day. After lunch, she studies up on mental training and strategies for input for football. Then she does another checkup on the selection progress. Then she has another meeting with Ego, which probably goes on like in chapter 31. But I should have made this video why it sucks to be Anri, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe I'll put that one as one of the thumbnails, who knows. After that, she'll write up the latest reports in the progress and also expenses, which is pretty scary to look out. After that last part of the day, she can take it easy on looking at players' conditions, and yes, I said easy compared to dealing with the JFU and Ego's antics. At 8:30, she finishes work. She probably takes a shower and changes before having dinner and having to boil Ego's water. And this is all before chapter 305, where she actually has to put in more work, but we'll get into that later. Fun fact, if Bastard Munchen truly was Germany's best team, then it means they had home field advantage in the NEL, since it was Ego and Anri who based the BlueLock facility off of theirs. While they were at it, they studied their world's best goalkeepers to create BlueLock Man. And if I understood Anri's tone here, this BlueLock Man was the final blow to BlueLock's budget. Either him or the World 5, who knows. So Anri is saying this NPC here better bring success, in which she quickly understands it as it's making everyone's shooting formula improve vastly. And it's because of this training she is able to finally see the full adaptability of Yoichi Isagi in display. The one who seemingly only succeeds because of his egoist 4 teammates is now finding a shooting formula that doesn't rely on them. Also, we get a change in chapter 67. Instead of being labeled as a new hire like in chapter 1 and 15, now she is labeled as BlueLock Supervisor. You go, Queen. In this chapter, she learns from Ego what defeat is, but more importantly, what should come after defeat, feeling despair and how it makes you fight harder to make those dreams a reality. I mean, she does get the title Project Manager in Chapter 1 of Episode Nagi, and then BlueLock Manager in Chapter 12 of Episode Nagi, so yeah, whichever one shines brighter, I guess. However, it is nice to see Anri's progression go up the ranks, but then Chapter 123 just had to ruin things, so I'm just gonna stop caring now. Also, I really love this Easter egg. I never really thought about it, but it was always in the back of my head. And that was because how much I always go back between chapter 77 and the Yukimiya chapter for my manga panels to use in videos. The thing is, Anri describes both of these goals as miracle super goals. In both instances, Ego says it goes above human knowledge, and while Nagi's second chain volley was replicable because he didn't need a super play, the NEL one was. Speaking of Nagi, Anri reflects on how she was the one who discovered the diamond duo of real Nagi and asks Ego to guide them to the top. But she has to deal with the Bachira shenanigans and she had trouble locking him in. Looking back at this was just a plot device for Rail to see Nagi one last time before the third selection. Speaking of the third selection, we don't see Anri the whole time. While yes, she was shown when Ego was describing what flow is about isagi, that was it. The next time she appears is when Burasada is giving her a phone call about Itoshi stealing Shido from BlueLock. One thing I've seen throughout the matches is that Anri is impatient. Like whenever the opponent scores, she is worried about making changes or making something happen immediately. And whenever they do score, she thinks everything is going to be okay. It's like an immature soccer fan put as a coach. It's not the worst thing, as to be worried is a good thing, but the way she does it is just very impatient, which could get on my nerves sometimes. In chapter 131, she shows that she is finally understanding what an awakening is, as she didn't 100 chapters ago. That's actually good foreshadowing right there, that chapter 31 she was mentioned to about this, and now she actually got it. She is just shown reacting to stuff after almost crashing out on Ego on not having a plan. But in chapter 147, we saw Anri cry for the first time in 7 months since June 2018, when Japan lost to Belgium. She sheds tears as her dream project finally defeated the Japan U20 team, the original one, making BlueLock known to the world, finally getting its respect. In chapter 149, she tells the BlueLockers that she is super proud of them, only to get cooked by Otoya and Ego. In chapter 149, she tells the BlueLockers that she is super proud of them, only to get cooked by Otoya and Ego. She says as a bonus for this massive victory, the special menu will be an all-you-can-eat buffet. She gets the volume cover for volume 18, the only one without change, as she has no restrictions, and not even like any necklace, as she is just free to do whatever she wants to accomplish her dream of winning the World Cup for Japan. We catch up with her as Anri and Ego are having a meeting with football executives all over the world because BlueLock is now that popular and it will bring the world into BlueLock for phase 2. We see her in chapter 248 experimenting on kunigami like a lab project. Bro, as much as Ego gets blamed for this, Anri should be getting blamed for this too. I mean, I know Ego doesn't have it in him to do all that scanning and data analytics on kunigami, so Anri has to be doing some work on this kunigami project too. It's a team effort, so they both should be taking the blame. If y'all are criticizing Ego, yeah, maybe both of them are looking at some jail time in the future. I think she could take a 7v1. Boom, Anri really knows ball, talking about Dragon Balls with Goku and Super Saiyans and Pokemon with Pikachu. Anri did catch up and understand talented learners and geniuses' explanation pretty fast, so she is getting better at understanding Ego's lessons.
We formed BlueLock with the dream of being the best in the world. In Phase 1, we selected 35 of 300 players. They played against Japan's U20 representatives team, and in Phase 2, the Neo-Egoist League thinned their numbers to 23. It's finally time for Phase 3, the U20 World Cup. Japan will host it. 64 countries, the highest number ever, starting with Brazil, the soccer kingdom. Then there's Germany with Michael Kaiser, and England's soccer's motherland, Spain, Italy. France, the champion led by Loki, who also fought in the New Egoist League. Plus, all the new generations will be gathered together. These and other unknown foes will be faced by BlueLock Japan. Our sights are set on one thing total, victory. And now it's time to turn our dreams into a reality.
With the U20 Cup underway, Ego is working extra hard, which means Anri is up longer and making midnight stacks for Ego to keep him energized, and she probably is putting more effort in on her own time to make her dream a reality. Ego called her Sama, saying the yakisoba was delicious of course, but he tells her to get some proper sleep in her own room. Bo just couldn't resist cussing her out though. But when she tells Nagi that he is a trespasser, I really wish we got to see her saying this, because this was one of the players she was always hyped by. This was one of the accidental players she discovered. I truly believe Nagi was her favorite, or at least top 5 favorite players. So for her to be the one to send him home for the final time must have been a real heartbreak for her. In chapter 336, we see she's on Karasu's team in the BlueLock Civil War. That is all she has done in the manga so far. Now let's talk about something that's been looming in the background, which is the political side of BlueLock, as this will relate to Anri. In chapters 41 and 92, we have been shown the BlueLock budget is depleting at an explosive rate. In chapter 210, we are shown that there was a promise between Ego and Buratsuda. In chapter 303, outside of Anri's speech, we have Ego and Buratsuda arguing about Nagi's exclusion from the team. Buratsuda reveals he is the king of this project, and he is the reason why Japan is hosting this tournament, as he negotiated with Ray Dark. And he orders Ego to bring the Nagi back, but Ego declines. The promise was that Ego got to pick the top 23 players and Buratsuda was to pick 3. He has already picked itoshi as one of them. Buratsuda reveals the other 2 will be revealed by the knockout stages. Then Ego drops the biggest blockbuster, that if Japan doesn't win the U20 World Cup, he will be fired. Now this plays into Anri because I've been speculating that Japan will not win the U20 World Cup, as I do want Germany to win, as that's my favorite, but the most realistic if Japan doesn't win is France, as this will give the readers more to look into in the actual World Cup. Anri could be the secret agent who runs social media accounts trying to bring back Ego, like how people rally trying to bring back Nagi. Another thing is she could be using everything Ego has taught her, from awakenings, chemical reactions, ad-libs, the flow, talented learner, geniuses, ego types, and everything she has to become a coach. I think she is slowly maturing into a bigger role, and she just needs to be calm and have more trust in her players. Plus, this would be cool for Japan to have a woman who is already very knowledgeable about soccer thanks to studying soccer every day, and with Ego's lessons, she could be BlueLock's Riko Aida from Kuroko no Basket. Anyways, but yeah, I'm interested to see what she would get to do with BlueLock if Ego was fired. She would definitely have to deal with Buratsuda and his goons, but with her strong-willed mind, and the help with the Blue Lockers plus the fans, I'm pretty sure she can fight her way even to becoming the president, which would be a cool scene to see after Japan would win the main World Cup. Even if they win the U20 World Cup, I still think Anri becoming the JFU president is a very realistic goal Kaneshiro can dive into. If Ego does get fired, there would be more to do with Anri, but either scenario is fine. Now that would do for today. Happy Women's Day to all my female followers. I appreciate you all deeply, and thanks to Saihara for helping out with Anri's voice for this project. Stay blessed, Suki out.